third topic?
Our third topic comes to us from Brian Yaeger. Hey, John and crew. DC Fandom is definitely one of the best events put on, and your watch along for the 2021 event was a lot of fun, thanks to you and not the event itself. Well, I'm now seeing reports that the 2022 event has been canceled. What do you all think is behind this decision to cancel the event? Thanks.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Brian. We appreciate you writing in. And say it ain't so. DC Fandome canceled, but last year was so good.
It's being replaced with an Ezra Miller crime watch.
Oh, no. I mean, last year, honestly...
Too soon, I'm sorry.
Things just went off the rails with Fandome last year. There were gold shoes. There were just weird announcements. This all makes sense to me, but let's hear from folks over at IndieWire about it. The 2022 DC Fandome event has officially been canceled. IndieWire can confirm that Warner Brothers Discovery gave the live virtual convention the axe this year, much like HBO's Max's Batgirl film. With the return of in-person events, Warner Brothers Discovery is excited to be able to engage with our fans live at numerous Comic-Cons around the world and will not be scheduling DC Fandome for 2022, a statement from Warner Brothers Discovery shared with IndieWire read. So we're going to do more in-person events, but this really just feels like more axes ass up to me, right? We're cutting the fat. Why are we putting on events that we don't necessarily have to, especially when we don't do them that well sometimes? What do you think, Rob?
Well, we all enjoyed the first DC Fandome.
The first one
it was
great.
during the pandemic. I thought they did a really great job.
Mm-hmm.
There was an excitement around it. I really enjoyed it. And as a longtime denizen of Comic-Con, it was nice to have that. And it seemed really well produced. They had a lot of really exciting stuff to talk about. And I liked it. I mean, I'm sitting all alone in my observatory. I was watching Fandome, no one knows what it's like to be the sad Rob.
I love that we're just doubling down on demonetization.
I know. So I changed the lyrics. Behind hazel eyes. So I liked it. And the second one was inexplicably bad. And I don't understand how you had one job. We saw what you guys did. You did a great job. And why did the second one go off the rails? But I honestly, in the case of this, I do believe that their rationale that live events have come back is true. Mm-hmm. I don't think that David Zaslav has Fandome on his radar. I don't think he was swinging his axe, despite Ray's beautiful thumbnail to the contrary. I just think that this was a marketing decision. They're like, look, we're spending tons of money going to these conventions. We've got New York Comic-Con. We have the event in Toronto that just happened. Comic-Con was back this year, and Comic-Con was really good this year. And I think that now they're going back to those live events, and I think that's where they want to spend their money. They get more bang for their buck, and it makes sense to me.
Well, that's understandable, but piggybacking off of that, Amy, you see all these other companies, though, doing their own events as well as Comic-Con. We just talked about D23, so do you think this is the right move for Warner Brothers or no?
That's a great picture, by the way, of Black Adam.
They had to CGI him down. They had to give him less muscles.
Oh, your question. I got lost.
I'll bet you did. I'll bet you did.
Hey, can we all just give me 5 minutes or no, I think financial decisions aside, in-person events coming back aside, I do think just from a purely sort of publicity standpoint, this might not be a great move. With the Batgirl cancellation, with the Ezra Miller stuff, it just doesn't feel like DC is in a super stable place. Mm-hmm. And this announcement just feels like a little more what's going on here as for the fan base.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think they really know when anything's coming out right now.
There is that.
Why would they announce a date, have this big old convention, be like, coming to you in theaters, and then next week be like, no, we're going to move this ahead of that one. I mean, it's really, I don't think they have anything concrete right now.
After Batgirl, it feels like every announcement comes with an asterisk of maybe.
Like at CinemaCon, they announced certain dates for certain things, and they seemed very for sure. Well, at least that's what the presentation seemed like. And then it wasn't even like a big convention. It was just the next week. They said, nah. They even had that trailer that played before
the Batman.
Yeah,
and then they moved it the next
slate.
week. Yeah.
And then the next week it was like, no, it's not coming out during that month. I don't think they know what's going on. They wouldn't be confident in putting on
I completely
a Fandome.
agree with that, Ray.
But you know what? I do feel cheated for all the other stuff that was going on at Fandome that no one paid attention to. The comics, the animation.
Right.
Those things seem to be locked down. I mean, if anything, they should have at least had something for those properties because people do care about DC. I mean,
yeah,
I
but
care
if you're
about
throwing
DC.
an entire event for it, and then it
Yeah,
feels like there's
but
not a broad, like a wide enough pool of
Right,
stuff to
right,
announce,
right.
suddenly that really puts the spotlight on you and makes it feel smaller. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's
right,
like
right.
that stuff deserves its moment in the sun, but I'm sure, they're looking at what they have to
Yeah, and
announce
cost.
officially and
And
kind of
cost.
going,
But-
is this going to make us look?
Theoretically, though, Fandome is relatively inexpensive to put on because it's a digital event.
Right.
Obviously, you're paying for the time of your people, but most of them are already doing press work, essentially. They're promoting their own projects. And I do think it'd be a smart move to at least talk about the things that are steady to give the illusion of stability at WB. Talk
Right.
about Harley Quinn coming back. Give us some stuff about that. Talk about things that are set in stone. Because right now, and a thing I have an issue with is at CinemaCon, WB made a commitment to theaters.
Yeah.
They made a commitment. And that was a very big deal given the last few years of how just tumultuous the film landscape has been. And right now they keep pushing back movies and keep pushing back movies. And some of them maybe don't exist. I don't know.
Is this a sign that DC may not even have a permanent home at Warner Brothers anymore?
No.
We talked about this, about having its own stable. It's going to have its own thing
Yeah.
now, much like Marvel at Disney.
I mean, look, Warner Brothers is making a huge transition, and I think what Warner Discovery is going to ultimately do is bring the studio back. It's going to be very stable. They're going to know what they're doing, but right now they're still in a transitional phase, and it's not like the studio. Well, maybe it's kind of a shambles, but it's not really. I mean, in terms of Warner Brothers, we saw the Batman. I mean, that really brought back. They made a deal with Matt Reeves. We're going to have a whole Batman verse. They seem still committed to the Penguin.
They just signed that big deal with Matt Reeves.
Absolutely, and I think
Which,
you've
Jonathan,
got
you wanna talk
Aquaman
about?
is coming, Flash, it's coming.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
committed to it, and if you notice, we haven't heard about someone in the news lately. They locked that shit down,
Yeah.
and
They
we've
tranquilized Ezra Miller and they have them locked up
well, I
somewhere,
mean,
I'm pretty sure.
I just think that look, this is what's going on is we're talking about billions of dollars in debt they're trying to manage. We're talking about we've got executives today. I have to give a shout out, Courtney Valenti. When I started working at Warner Brothers in the summer of 1989, she started around there. She was so nice. She worked in the story department, and I was just I was a management trainee, lowest of the low, a PA. She always had a smile. She always, if I always asked her a question, she would always tell me things she probably shouldn't have. About what good scripts are in. And she's, well, you might want to read this. She was delightful. She announced today. It was announced in Deadline. She's Jack Valenti's daughter. She is stepping down after I think 33 years at Warner Brothers.
Oh, wow.
And it was, she was lovely, and she was lovely to me as a young, newly minted out of film school, working at I was working at the highest levels of Warner Brothers, wandering around going, oh my God. And she was very nice to me. So shout out to Courtney Valenti.
Well, hopefully we have more Courtney Valentis at WB, making sure that things are running smoothly and that everyone's happy and that films are coming out maybe when they're supposed to. But guys, the question is up to you. What do you think of DC Fandome being canceled? Are you bummed? Do you think it's the right choice? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below.
Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, Ryan Reynolds, and specifically his delightful company, Mint Mobile. So look, after years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. So when I first heard that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month, I thought, what's the catch? But after talking to them and using their service, it all made sense. There isn't a catch. And guys, this is no joke. I have been using Mint Mobile for months now. And on top of the fact that I'm spending literally about 1/3 every month of what I was spending on my former major carrier, I've discovered no decline in my service. I kept my phone number and I was able to keep my phone. The switch from my old service to Mint Mobile couldn't have been easier and saved me more money. And the best part for anybody who just hates their phone bills is that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.